What's going on, guys? Bingo here, and I'm with the Duel Factory for the 7th installment of X-2 Drop, a weekly Yu-Gi-Oh! Podcast we do talking about events in the community, product releases, or just the state of the game, or frankly, anything we feel like talking about. This week, we're focusing on the PPG Dallas that just ended a couple of hours ago, as well as, we got a new product in the Endymion structure deck, and then we'll probably go somewhere from there. So, Joe, you watched most of the PPG coverage, right?
I sure did.
What were your thoughts?
There was a shit ton of Salamangreat. That didn't surprise me, but there was a lot more than I thought. I hardly saw any of them playing Trap Trick. That was kind of weird too. I did get to see a lot of the Pendulum decks actually being played with the Endymions. There was like a lot of like homebrews and stuff like that, but the two main ones were there was one Zephyr Endymion I saw, and then there were two Pendulum Endymions that were being played. And that deck's actually really scary.
Yeah, the Pendulum Magician version of the deck, I feel like people are going to play more. Cause I feel like the ceiling for Zephyr decks is just so much higher, and it's a lot easier to misplay. That's why I feel like the deck in the TCG never really took off, just Zephyr in general.
Well, the Zephyr one, I mean, you can tell like one of the biggest things that's missing is like over in OCG land where Endymion Zephyron sees a play than the regular Pendulum Magician one is they have access to Denlong, and Denlong actually is like really, really crucial, being able to change its level, being able to tutor other cards out, being able to search essentially another negate. Like it's really important to the strategy. But from what we have, I mean, the deck is still pretty viable out here. Like me and you were playing testing the couple builds, and I actually really like it, but it's very complex.
Yeah, I'm enjoying the Pendulum Magician variant. Obviously, the deck is so new that we don't really know the quote-unquote correct way to play a deck, which I hate saying that term, but the most optimal build is still not discovered.
Yeah, that's one of the unique things of Yu-Gi-Oh!, especially like the first week and stuff like that. Like it's not real, the deck's not figured out, so you get to see a bunch of like hot and spicy stuff.
Like a lot of people, when the Endymion structure deck first came out, they were really trying to focus on the Endymion cards, which they're good cards, but even a couple of days now, it's broken down to pretty much 3 spell power mastery, 3 of the level 3 girl
Endymion, servant of Endymion, and then 1 Endymion, the mighty master of magic, if at all.
And that's pretty much it. Like, yeah, you might play 1, but it's really just a turbo card. Gets you to Jackal King, and that's about it.
Yeah, I mean, it gets you to another gate, and some of the Pendulum decks I saw weren't even playing Cerberus because of the Servant.
Yeah, I was telling you when I was building the deck, I just felt like it conflicted way too much with the other 2 engines in your deck.
Yeah, for sure. But it's just like, I don't know. I feel like if you're playing the Pendulum Magician, you kind of have to, because like it still gets you to Electrum without having the normal summon. So that's like really important. That's another thing you can talk about the Servant of Endymion card. You can make Electrumite without ever having the normal summon, and that's huge.
Yeah, and then like with I'm playing 3 Pen Call and debating whether or not I should play Duelist Alliance with 3 Dark Worm, 2 Shrine, and a Foolish, because like you can resolve the Endymion, get Jackal, so you don't have to use the card she summoned to make Electrumite, and then you use Dark Worm and her to make Electrum, and it's just the problem I'm running into is I actually just fill up my board and I don't know what to do with it.
Yeah, and I've just known that when I was playing Zephyr, you just run out of zones so fast. And then, like, zone management for Pendulum decks is really hard.
Yeah, because...
especially because...
go ahead. I was going to say, like, if I don't... Like, the way I was playing my boards is I had to, like, use Harmonizing to synchro for Dawn Dragster and then make, like, Metaltron or another Link 2 on the other side of the board so that I can go into... the Guard Dragon plays and any other like synchros over there, because like I just ran out of freaking space.
Nah, I feel you on that one. It's just like Pendulum is kind of weird, especially like, well, because in the new structure deck we saw 3 of them in the top cut for PPG, right? So that's 3 of the 16 decks. which is a lot more than what we have been seeing, which is just like one rinky-dink one that like usually like slides on in, which is usually piloted by Jeremy Mitchell. But Pendulum's like one of those weird decks because like there's no like set designed combo. Like your entire hand's the combo. So then like when you have to go into zone management, you have to go into what monsters you specifically want to summon in what areas. What part of your combo do you want to lock yourself into a specific string of combos, such as your Guard Dragon plays, regular Pendulum plays? Like it's insane.
Yeah, just there's so many lines of play, and it is actually really easy to misplay, and that's why there's so much more Salamangreat, because the deck almost plays itself. Like, yeah, there's some key lines of play that you have to go through in certain situations, but turn one, Sunlight Wolf like combo, like you're gonna do it every time.
I mean, like, it's just super consistent. That's why it was the most represented deck this weekend, especially and in Top Cut. Like everything it does, you get to play every single game. Your minimal engine requirement is so little that you can play a bunch of tech cards and a bunch of hand traps and stuff like that. And that's one of the things why I think there wasn't as many Pendulum decks, or in this case, because there's only one Thunder Dragon deck I think in Top Cut for the PPG too. It's just all those decks with all those hand traps. It's really hard to play combo through that. Especially when you have Salamangreat. A lot of them are going Valor, Ash, Ogre, and Phantasmate this weekend. And I mean, you have one hand trap that lets you draw into the other three. I mean, that's insane. That's hard to think about. And then they still have the gas in the tank to be able to full combo, which their combo is not that impressive, but they get to do it every single turn.
Yeah, and you just let them snowball, and if you don't clear the Sunlight Wolf, they just get so much value out of it. And
yeah, like, it doesn't seem powerful, but I mean, like, that's especially when you're not paying attention with Sunlight Wolf. I noticed when I was playing locals this week, and when you summon monsters and you just summon it to a zone that Sunlight Wolf points to, they just get a free card back that you didn't intend on giving them, and that's, like, really crucial, too.
Yeah, like, if one thing I notice is every time there's a Sunlight Wolf, I want to use Phoenix to bait the card, but I also want to get the draw, so if I summon Phoenix, just point Sunlight Wolf, they just get a free card back, and there's no winning in that situation.
Nah, it's not. It's just one of those where you have to do like the one-off trade.
But how did Sky Striker do?
There was a couple. Hold on, let me pull back up the page. But there is a couple Sky Striker decks, but I think there's still more Salamangreat. I have it right here. Let's see.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people just left Sky Striker because it's been a year. And like, yeah, you do get sick of playing the same deck.
Okay, so let's see. Let's see. That was one Pendulum, two Pendulum, one Striker. Oh, there was a random Prank Kids that made it too, but his deck seems pretty streamlined, honestly.
Pretty standard.
Yeah, from what I can tell, from just like barely glancing at it, there's one Striker. What? I could have swore there was more. Two Striker.
You looking at top 8 or top 16?
I'm looking at the top 16. 3 Striker. Yeah, just 3 Striker decks. There's 3 Striker, one
Thunder.
One Thunder, one Prank Kid, so that's 5. And 3 Pendulum. So then the other half of top 16. Sorry, 7 Salamangreat, and then there was 1 Danger Zombie Orcus deck.
Yeah, and there's always one oddball deck. Like there's that zombie danger deck at the last, was it PPG or ARG?
It was the PPG.
Yeah, there's always one strange deck from a good player usually.
Well, that deck was actually pretty cool, and that deck that I was just looking at was really similar, but the only spells and traps it played were Foolish and Zombie World. But like, you're just going full combo at that point.
Yeah, so almost 50% was Salamangreat. It's because it's the simplest deck to play. It's the most forgiving with your play string, because like Sky Striker, we all know what it does. It just snowballs, and if you can't deal with it by like turn 2 or turn 3, like you're probably going to lose. But it also loses to itself.
You could very easily just not draw engage or draw all your utility cards.
Oh my god. Yeah, so Sky Striker is one of the. It's a control deck, but it also has this weird like power level curve where you can open Super Broken and you have like double anchor plus booster or something with like a follow up, or you could open Shizuku Pass. Salamangreat, Great, you're always gonna end with like Roar or Rage.
Yeah, you're always going to end with multiple pops. You're going to end with a negation plus like monsters that are protected by another one.
And hand trap, so that's why I feel like that's the most common. So I don't think the meta is going to shift very much from here. I feel like the Pendulum deck is actually, I honestly think it's going to fall off a little bit.
I don't know. I personally think it might pick up steam. I really do.
The deck is really good, and it's really fun to play. But I just don't see it. I just don't see it being a staple in the meta. I feel like it's going to be 1.5 tier 2.
There's always that possibility, but like, I don't know. First weekend with those endymion cards, and like, it takes 3. It's not. I will say premier event. We'll use that term loosely, but I mean, it takes 3 top 16 right out the gate. I mean, it's not like zoo level where it took 30 of the top 32 its first YCS, but I mean.
Yeah, I mean, what's nice is you can play under Colossus relatively well. I mean, it does affect you
a little bit,
but playing through multiple forms of interruption can be difficult. And playing through, it's got a pretty good Sky Striker matchup because you just summon the Endymion dude and like you win.
Yeah, that's the funny thing about it too is Pendulum actually already had a good Sky Striker matchup. But, like, the Endymion card makes it unfair at this point, because, like, they can't do anything to it.
Yeah, and then you just... Ignister is such a broken card.
That's something worth talking about, too.
Yeah, the Ignister and the Draco engine coming back.
It wasn't Bergeron, it was someone... No, it was Bergeron. Because he did it round 2, where he was playing Pisty as one of the Guard Dragon cards, and then with Master Pendulum and whatnot. And apparently, the combo... Because I had just missed it, but the combo result with Pisty resolves Ignister twice in a turn. Like, going second, that's broken. Resolving 2 Ignisters, you just get to spin 2 cards without targeting. Like, what?
God forbid you're in the mirror match, and then it's just free.
Yeah, and I completely forgot he was a Dragon, too. He's a level 8 Dragon, too. So, I mean, if you can find room in the extra deck, you start playing rank 8s again, but... Do we ever get a ruling on the Ignister... pendulum card or like a non-pendulum scale in the pendulum zone? I don't think we ever figured that out.
Alright, that's something worth looking up. But yeah.
I remember it was like a whole theory we were talking about because of the wording that
yeah, this is 500 this is 500 IQ for anyone listening. So Ignister, his wording is, let me pull it up real quick. It says target 1 pendulum monster on the field or 1 card in the pendulum zone, destroy it, and then shuffle a card on the field into the deck. So Master Rule 3, obviously the only cards that could go in a pendulum zone is pendulum scales. But Master Rule 4, you can play spell and trap. So can you spin a spell or trap, like any card, and then spin a monster on the field? That's the question.
That is a 500 IQ question.
That is a Douglas French theory that wasn't immediately shot down because I don't know.
That was the one and only time he's ever made that, and we just haven't completely shut him down. It's actually hilarious because I don't know. Yeah. And I've never seen it come up at a regional or a YCS or anything like that. So it's gotta happen sometime.
I'm gonna ask the head judge when we go to St. Louis in 2 weeks.
Yeah, 2 weeks or something like that. That'll be great. I might
play Endymion. I haven't decided if I'm gonna play that or Necroz.
I tell you what, I kind of want to play since it'll be legal that weekend. I want to play BA.
Oh, Cherubini.
Yeah, we get good old cherubs.
How would you build that deck though? Like, what's your sub engine?
I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out. Usually just...
Like, I don't want to play the Block Dragon engine.
I probably honestly just play a bunch of level 3s. Like, a bunch of level 3 extenders and go there.
Do you play Defrag?
You could play defrag. That'd be kind of cool. I don't know. I have to sit down and test it a little bit, but there's a bunch of stuff like Psychic Wielder, still a card that no one's been talking about, but there's no like restriction in BA other than BA monsters. But Cherubini kind of mitigates that, so that card I think actually becomes a lot better because it'll be one of the few decks that'll have access to the Brionac that can just bounce a Thunderboard for free. Like I said, Cherubini itself is an insane card because it's access to any one of your BA monsters or any utility 3 monster you can think of.
Yeah, I mean, Mathematician is a FTK, right? It's pretty much...
Yeah, in theory.
You send Edging Sabers and make Cherubini and then go off.
Beam.
One thing, like, I totally forgot that you could just revive Cherubini with, what's his name? 1BA dude.
Seer?
Yeah, that guy. The pig.
The pig. You know, as long as that card's been out and as long as I've been playing the game, I actually heard him.
I watched some profile where the dude was like, you play one pig, like one dog, like, and then the rest of them are like bats. And you just call them all bats.
A bunch of weird things.
Yeah, I don't know. Alright.
Oh, we completely forgot Ecuador was this weekend.
Oh, yeah. I did not see anything about that.
I just saw someone posting about it, but like all it was his names. It didn't show me a deck list or anything like that.
So, the problem is we're probably going to get a Forbidden Unlimited list this week or like maybe first week of May, but I'm assuming it's coming out this week or by the end of the month, and we just don't know what's going to happen.
I'd be really excited to finally get a list.
Yeah, like I don't hate the format. Danger Thunder just like kind of pisses me off, but it's bearable. I'm at that point where I just want something new to like theory around and like use new cards or get rid of old cards.
I mean, let's be real here. It's the same thing with every Yu-Gi-Oh format and every ban list. After so long, the format just gets stale. And
yeah, but usually, or not usually, but in the past like 6 months to a year, it's been like, give us a ban list because this card's unhealthy. And we're in a point where the game's not unhealthy, it's just become stale.
Yeah, and like even with the new structure that came in, and we have a new set coming too, which might change up things a little bit, but like the format's still stale.
Yeah, I mean,
like the best decks are still defined.
Yeah, the new set is going to give us a lot of cool stuff to play with, but it's not going to change the best decks. In fact, it's going to make Danger Orcust probably bump it up in a tier, and then we're going to more or less have the same stuff. Oh
yeah, we do get Dingers or whatever his name is. That deck's going to be insane.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to that. But as long as something is done for the PK engine, I'll be all right. I just don't like getting Azathoted, or I really don't want to get VFD'd, that's for sure.
That's going to be awful.
Yeah, because VFD is a broken card, but like, name one rank 9 turbo deck.
I'll get pro tip. There isn't one.
Yep, I mean the closest thing we had was True Kings, and that deck just loses to everything.
They murdered Lithosagam.
Yeah.
R.I.P.
Rest in peace, Dinos.
The one deck that never had a chance.
So one thing that came out of this event that impacts me or impacts the general player base is the market. It's been like a couple of hours, and just from the Endymion decks that topped the Morphage cards, because there's actually a few lists playing more than just Goliath. They were playing Sloth and what's the level 2 called?
Lechery.
Yeah, so that card went from 50 cents, which thankfully Joe posted a list mid-tournament, and I was like, okay, I'm going to buy 3 of these, a Sloth and a Goliath, because I don't have those. And then by the end of the tournament, that card went from 50 cents to $7 freaking dollars, and Sloth doubled in price.
Yu-Gi-Oh is wild.
Yeah, it's frustrating. So
all because one deck in the top 16, only one of those decks is playing Lechery. Like, that was insane. And all because... Well, it's because Alex Bergeron was playing it, and he's known for playing, like, wild cards and stuff like that. So, naturally, I haven't seen him top an event in God knows how long, and he plays that one card. Boom. World goes nuts.
I mean, it makes sense. So, I could definitely see it becoming a option to play the deck, because it is Imperial Order. Like, it's pretty good against Sky Striker. I don't like it being only searchable through Electromite, and then you also have to go into the line of play to get out another Amorphage. Like, that's your combo play. Like, you have to do that, or else now you just have 2 dead cards.
Right, but, I mean, Electry serves its purpose where it just floodgates them for a turn and then you kill them.
Yeah, I mean, if you order a Sky Striker player, yeah, they might set an anchor, but, like, who cares? You're gonna win that game.
You can play through it, especially Pendulum. You can play through one anchor, no problem.
Yeah, even if they have an anchor, they're not gonna have 3 spells engraved unless they just burn them to do
Turn
nothing.
it on.
Yeah, it's like you're gonna have to play through essentially a Veiler with an established board. Yeah, you won't be able to summon from the extra deck, but you shouldn't have to.
FreeCreditReport.com.
Actually, I mean, you could just tribute off. You have to tribute in the standby phase for Amorphages, right?
I think so. It's been so long since I've actually read those cards.
Yeah, so I mean, you could just tribute off the Sloth on your field and then actually just go off.
Oh, I'm surprised. One of the cards we mentioned, like Sloth, I'm surprised that card didn't get bought out earlier. Especially in, like, Pendulum deck, because, you know, a lot of them with the Guard Jags were just playing Goliath, because Goliath's huge, right?
Yeah, and then people saw that like, Sloth is a better card for that deck.
Sloth is a 1-sack. It can be Pendulum summoned in most Pendulum decks where Goliath cannot.
Yeah.
I mean, like, it's just, in Pendulum strategies, I feel like it's just a better card.
It's got a better scale, too.
Yeah. But, I mean, like, it just gets overlooked because all the decks that are playing any sort of Amorphage or anything like that, they opt to choose Goliath because Goliath can be summoned off of Arcbrave because Dark Matter can be made in any deck that plays a rank 8.
Yeah, and that's where the net decking or just taking what's already in place and not really thinking about the reason behind the card comes into place. So that's your general population. Like, for me, even to an extent where it's just like, I'm going to take what the community is doing because I don't have time to sit down and think about everything.
Mm-hmm. No, I feel you on that one. It's just funny because you haven't seen Sloth itself, you haven't seen since, like, Metal Foe would have been, like, the earliest that we've seen it. We really saw it in 2016 where Pendulum decks were gearing to beat Monarch decks and gearing to beat BAPK decks because Beatrice couldn't get over non-targetable Carrions and stuff like that, and then that's where Sloth was being played. Now, it's because of the Endymion cards, it's just easier to play Sloth.
Yo, what if Double Iris comes back? You think they'll play Trapgraph again?
I mean, it makes that was like the big reason to play those cards is because it made the spell and the trap card searchable. Yeah, plus, to be fair, even though technically the trap card is still searchable because we have Duelist Alliance and stuff like that, but it wasn't as free as it was when you were searching off Double Iris.
Yeah, because with Double Iris, like Duelist Alliance searches Double Iris, then you get the free pop and add with Electromite, then the draw, and then the trap card. Like that was just super free.
Yeah, but then you just take away Double Iris, and then to me, that made the spell Pendulum Graph. Or it was a
Star Pendulum Graph?
Star Pendulum Graph and then Time Pendulum Graph, the 2 cards. To me, those cards became unplayable when Double Iris left. Because that was the biggest advantage of playing Double Iris. Like, you get to play multiple Double Iris and only have to play one of each of these cards. And, your deck's still broken. Yeah,
and that's the thing. I really like those cards. Those are probably my 2 favorite Pendulum support cards just because their effects are really cool. They're really a pain to deal with, like back in Master Rule 3 Pendulum Magicians. But only being searchable off Duelist Alliance it's just not good enough because you'll have with Double Iris, you'll be able to pen call, Double Iris out, and then hopefully establish Electromite before you Pendulum summon. And it's just the advantage you get from that versus just searching the trap card. It's just it's not the same. So I would be super excited if Double Iris came back. I don't see why it's still banned. I can see why it's not at 3, but...
Yeah. I mean, it is what it is at that point.
Alright, so the Endymion structure deck, we touched on that a lot. I'm a fan of it. I really am. But like I said, I don't think it's going to be a tier 1 contender.
I don't know. I feel like it gives Pendulum a new trick to play with, but only time will tell.
Yeah, you got all these people that are they're one-trick players that they've been playing Pendulum Magician since 2017, and they'll take any advantages they can get. Shout out to Triff Gaming, you know.
Hashtag free my boy Triff.
Isn't he unbanned in a few months?
I can't remember. I'm pretty sure he is, but I don't know. I think it's hilarious. I'm going to be so excited when he comes back.
All right, so apparently we're 26 minutes into this. I definitely thought we were not. But we got a regional coming up. You said you might play BA, but you're probably not. Like, what do you want to play?
I don't know. It just depends on what we have available to us. Like, I kind of want to play it, especially if I'm able to pick up Cherubini's in time. If it's still the same list, I might honestly play Thunder, because I still think that's the best, most powerful deck right now.
Oh, it's easily the most powerful.
I don't know if I want to play these god-awful looking fucking Colossus.
Yeah, the Altis.
They are... They're so fucking ugly.
I can't remember. What was the third one? I've asked this like 5 times. It was Hayate, Colossus, and...
Galatea.
Oh, yeah.
Which we have that card, that deck's gonna be prevalent because we get the counter trap too.
Yeah, it's just Judgment, right? That's basically what it is. And it's searchable.
Yeah, Galatea sets it straight from the deck.
Yeah. That's gonna be fun.
Fun for the whole family. Especially the mothers and daughters.
Alright. Well, that's pretty much all the time we have. Joe, you got any closing comments?
You sound like a robot just now, so I couldn't hear you.
No, I said, you got any closing comments? That's like all the time we got.
Well, Colossus is ugly. Yu-Gi-Oh's probably going to get shaken up pretty good here in the next 2 weeks. Douglas French has no sauce. And my, no, I think I'm out of it. I think I'm out of juice.
All right, guys. Well, I appreciate you checking out X2 Drop. Again, it's weekly. We post it every Monday. And if you've enjoyed our conversations and the stuff we talk about, check out our YouTube channels. They're somewhere in the description. But again, I've been Bingo HD, and that's the Duel Factory. So thanks for watching. Peace out.
Okay, bye.